What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. It's been a while since I posted, but I've been getting a lot done on this Jeep and the 2J as well. Got this fancy new carport too. So basically in the last video you saw, I cut the side steps off of the 2J and I took the exhaust off, but since then I painted it and just put it back on for now. I got the carport because I don't have a big old garage and storage and nice toolboxes and a lift, so I figured I'd get a little carport. It's got a little front too, so the front will roll down completely enclosed, but we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know how this is going to hold up with a bunch of snow on the roof here. The green XJ right here. In the last video you saw me working on the U-joint. I pulled the U-joint out, but I also off camera did a whole bunch of other work too. I did 2 front rotors, calipers, and pads. And after I finished all that, I went to go fire it up, and I haven't driven this Jeep in probably over, I'd say, a month. It ran great before that. The issue is I went to go fire this up and it had a nasty misfire. I mean, awful. I'll pop up a little clip right here of what it sounded like. It was throwing a ignition coil code, so I figured, okay, let's just replace the ignition coil. So this was actually my first XJ that I've ever bought. Bought it back in like 2018 or 19, I believe. It's taken me all over the country, and I love this Jeep. I used to drive it all the time. It used to be my only vehicle, my daily driver. Having other projects and other vehicles, this thing kind of got sidelined for a little bit. Still has a lot of work to be done on her, but right now at least she runs and drives, which is all you can really ask for. So yeah, all I did was replace this coil pack, and of course all 6 spark plugs in there. Gapped the spark plugs to about 0.35. Used Champion plugs. It didn't have NGK, but the Champions work great either way. Besides that, I threw the 20s on there. I've had these on the marketplace trying to sell them for a while now, but there's such a specific bolt pattern and style that not many people even gave me offers on them, so I figured, what the hell, just put them on the green Jeep. If you guys don't know, I'll run through this real quick. This unibody needs some work. It's got a little hole right there. The floors are completely gone in the trunk area. That's why this looks like this. I kind of hammered it up as best as I could. There was nothing left to cut and fold. You can tell this side's a little more intact. What they do is they'll cut right here. They'll cut somewhere along here, and they'll take the existing metal and fold it up underneath with the other side of the panel and fold that underneath as well, closing the floor off and any electrical components that are in there. But unfortunately for me, that's toast. That's too far gone on that side. This side I can probably save a little bit, but I'm probably just going to end up replacing the whole quarter panel and trunk floor pans as well. The quarter panel here, and there's all electrical all in there, so we don't want that. I got 2 new leaf springs for it as well, because this side is still broken. I got 2 brand new leaf springs in there with the bushings. I got to throw those in there. Get a little cold start. Fall is in full effect. Actually, it's late fall, and it's now feeling more like winter. Runs mint. This Jeep's got 351,000 miles on it. As you can tell, it runs really good now. It's dialed in. So another thing I did with the 2J is I got a new transmission cooler, and I know that's not the best setup for it, but it is what it is. It's there for now. I got it zip tied up there, nice and sturdy. Got a little AutoZone one, nothing too fancy. I basically just wanted to take the old one out, put a new one in, not have to mess with any of the fittings, and this one lined up perfectly on this side. Didn't have to do anything different with the hoses, just popped them right back on. The problem I was running into, this little quick disconnect fitting right there, that used to be a little quick disconnect. I'll try to pop up a picture if I can find one here. But I ended up putting an AN6 fitting on the return line for the transmission cooler, and off of that AN fitting I put a little 90-degree elbow right there, and again just popped the hose on right over the push lock, I think this is called, and zipped a hose clamp right there. And I've driven it around good enough and there's no leaks. I actually had a video planned at a car show, you know, hidden camera reactions and everything to the 2J, because you guys love those videos, but I ended up scrapping that video completely because I ran into the transmission leaking on the way there. It was probably about an hour and a half, but I didn't notice it until I got to the car show, and I didn't know what it was, so I never kept filming and just scrapped the whole video. I threw in 6 new spark plugs because why not? So I ended up using NGK BK7RE, I believe it is. Changed out all 6 spark plugs in there, and it actually runs a lot better. It didn't fix my breakup issue. I didn't think it would, because I know that's more or less a tuning issue or something going on with the VVTi system. We're getting closer to tuning, I swear. We did the spark plugs. I'll show you what they look like here. So as you can tell, these things are pretty fouled out. They're not like horrible, but what I don't like are these rusty spark plugs here. And I was confused. I was like, well, why are those two rusted and the rest are good? I mean, this is the part you want to look at. Now that's a little black, a little carbon buildup. Nothing too crazy, but what concerned me is why this one was all rusty and these were all good. And I found out the problem. So if you guys don't know, I make hidden GoPro videos at car shows because it's funny as hell to get people's reaction to a 2J in a Jeep. So I stuffed a little GoPro up in here, and there was one car show, it was really windy and the hood slammed down on the GoPro. You can tell there it actually bent the hood a little bit. So when I shut the hood, there leaves a little gap right there. And what I think is happening is when it rains, the rain is getting in there and it could be dripping on this coil pack and cause that spark plug to get all rusty. I don't know, that's just my hypothesis, but either way, we got new fresh plugs in there, gapped to 0.23. And right now I'm working with some guy on Instagram who I think is gonna remote tune this. He's gonna connect to my laptop, which I have plugged into my ECU. And he's going to run through everything and run diagnostic, check the timing. As this is where my ECU is. I got the USB ready to go, be plugged into the laptop. It'll tell me why I have that breakup at 9 PSI. I think it's like a safety that the previous owner added to this, so he didn't want me to blow it up, which makes sense. It's been 4 years now. I think it's time to finally get this thing to be able where I can go wide open throttle. I want to say turn it up, but I don't even really want to turn it up yet because I just want to go wide open throttle at 10, 15 PSI, nothing crazy. I'm not asking for 20, 30 PSI and, you know, moon tune this thing someday, but right now I just want to go wide open throttle through all the gears, not have to worry about a breakup or a boost cut, because it takes all the fun out of it. Pop up a little clip here, and this is what I'm talking about. Oops, still a little breakup there. So you can hear there, it's got this nasty breakup and it just makes driving this not as fun. So this is one of the plugs from the green XJ, the 4.0. I honestly don't even know how this thing was running because that gap is way, way, way too big. As you can see here, I got my little gapping tool and this is gapped at 0.83, which it should be 0.35, 0.38. So I have no idea how my Jeep was even running prior to all this, but that gap is way too big. These plugs are super fouled out, so I'm glad I got those changed. All right, let's start this girl up. Whenever I post my dash on Instagram or even YouTube here, a lot of people ask, you know, what the setup is. Well, this is just a Samsung tablet. I put some Velcro there so it can stick to the dash. And basically everything just runs off this app called Shadow Dash, which allows me to connect to my ECU in here, which tells me everything about the engine: coolant temp, boost, RPM, mile an hour. Air to fuel ratio is also there, but I also have an air fuel ratio gauge right here that I actually fixed. I found a couple broken wires in there, and in my case it's running extremely rich, which is an issue that goes along with the boost cut. So cranky this morning. .6 at idle. It's pretty rich. So a lot of my issues stem from this running really rich, and I'm pretty sure it's something super simple. And I also get a little check engine light and battery fault that comes up. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Again, you have to run it in Tuner Studio to see what those codes are. It's not like you can just plug into the OBD2 port there and check your code. What kind of video would it be without a burnout, right? That's how you do a burnout in an XJ. Not gonna lie, that was one of my spiciest burnouts. I got smoke filled in the cabin. I don't know if you can see it, but we're Cheech and Chonging in here. So if you guys follow me, you'll know I don't take this Jeep off-road because of the unibody all messed up, rotted, cracked, and whatnot. And frankly, it's just not capable for off-road yet. But every now and then I like to take it down a little dirt road and have some fun. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I know it's a little short, but trying to keep the content more interesting versus just me talking about stuff or showing me work on my Jeep, because who wants to watch that? But anyway, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully the next video will be me tuning this, and yeah, we'll unlock the true potential of the 2JZ, and this thing will be absolutely dialed in. I don't see why not. Cross my fingers, knock on wood, considering nothing else happens between now and when I tune it. So stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be a good one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.